If you're a small creator, you've likely heard that YouTube has changed the requirements in order to monetize your channel for the YouTube Partner Program. But now that we've had time to digest the situation, the question at this point is, what are we going to do about it? Will we decide to stay the course until next year, or are we simply going to give up? I want to talk about my motivations for starting this channel as well as my plan into next year. But first, I just wanted to mention that if you are a smaller creator who has decided that this is just too much and you want to drop out of the race, I am so sorry. I understand where you're coming from on that. I certainly understand your decision. But if you are a small creator who has decided to push forward at least through the end of this year, I really want to support you, and I truly hope that you make it. So we're going to try to go around the whole logarithm thing. And so because of all of this, I have personally decided that I'm going to change my viewing habits in the next few months. I am going to navigate away from some of my favorite larger creators and spend whatever time I have watching YouTube or listening to YouTube while I do work around the house. That's typically how I consume YouTube anyway. But my plan is to navigate away from those larger creators and focus instead on finding new smaller creators to watch instead. So if you are a smaller creator who is watching this right now, please leave a comment for me and let me know what kind of channel you are, what niche you're in, as well as how long you've been working towards monetization, and also what is motivating you to keep going. This will help me to explore new creators that YouTube may or may not show me through my regular viewing patterns. And it will also give my viewers an opportunity to go down through the comments and perhaps find new channels that they might like to watch. And as we are currently all pressing forward, I know no matter who you are, if you're a small creator, you are certainly trying to strive towards the YouTube Partner Program and monetization. But in the meantime, we need to find our motivation from a different source. And so that would be all the other benefits that being a YouTuber gives us, even if it's not monetary. So for me, one of the main things that I am looking to achieve or to get out of this is speaking skills. Because actually, speaking skills have never come easy for me. I almost passed out during a college presentation one time because I was terrified to get up in front of people, and it was recorded. I'm telling you, I nearly hit the deck. And I think that could help me if I ever did decide to enter the job market again, interview skills or just interpersonal skills at work. Even as a small business owner myself, in business, it has served me very well to be able to communicate better. So I am very grateful for this channel for giving me those skills. And I've learned a lot of new things. I have learned so many things in terms of, trying to present information in such a way that can actually keep people interested in what I'm saying. Sometimes I know I have something interesting to say, but trying to get it out to someone in a way that they don't fall asleep or think they're going to bang their head against the wall because they're sick and tired of, me going off the point or whatever it is. Those are skills too. And I'm eternally grateful for those skills, even though I haven't made any single penny from this. My photography has gotten much better. I've learned video editing. I have learned so many new skills I never even imagined, honestly. From the point in which I decided that I was actually going to make a YouTube channel until I posted up that first video, how much I was going to have to learn, how much I've learned over the last 1 year when I look back at my first video that I ever posted, which, by the way, most of them I took them down because they were absolutely, I guess the word is cringe. They were cringe because I was learning, because I was not a YouTuber. I mean, I'm an accountant. This was never part of the original plan. So I have learned so much through doing YouTube, and I really am eternally grateful for the experience that I've gained. I've developed AI skills, I've developed video editing skills, I've developed photography skills that even could pay me in other ways. Maybe I could get a job working for another YouTuber Who knows? I wouldn't write anything off for the future because you just never know. If you would have told me in college that I would be on YouTube, I would have told you were nuts. So it's impossible to know. So that's the bottom line here, is that anything really is possible, even if you don't really think it is. So I do think that for smaller creators, focusing on those tangible things that we are getting out of doing this is critical during this difficult time. So this news has ultimately caused me to reflect on the reason why I started this YouTube channel to begin with, and to try to decide what it is I want to do with the future of this channel. Because I have already invested more than a year of my time and energy into developing it. To be quite frank, there is enough negative garbage out there on social media already. So from my perspective, my main goal was to put out something positive and helpful. I want to be something positive. I want to be something productive. And most of all, I also want to be something that is real. My real house, my real kitchen, my real meal plan, my real budget. Real life. I want to be a source of good for whoever I am able to reach. Creating and maintaining this YouTube channel, I've only really had one 365 rolling period to work with, and in the next few months, that's all the time I've got. And so by the time the deadline passes, I wouldn't even have had 2 full years to try to reach monetization. It's a very short period of time for a newer channel to reach the goal. But I'm going to do the best I can. It might sound shallow for smaller creators to demand monetization in order to continue their channel. It's not as shallow as it looks on the surface, and let me explain. Okay, there's probably a multitude of reasons, and I want, like I said, if you're a small creator watching this, leave your motivation down in the comments, because I'd be curious to see, but I'd be willing to bet that your motivation falls into one of 3 buckets. Either number 1, you'd like to leave your full-time job and replace it with YouTube, or 2, you would like to have some income diversification, and YouTube seems like an awesome low barrier option for you to diversify your income. Or number 3, you are simply pursuing YouTube as truly a hobby. And so as for my personal motivation, I will share that with you. The reason why I was motivated to start this YouTube channel, first of all, was because my friends and family actually encouraged me to do it. Beyond that, I do not need a full-time income. We have a successful business that is up and running. It has allowed me to leave my job, which if you've been on my channel any length of time, you'll know I do not have a standard 9-to-5 job anymore. And YouTube is really mostly a hobby for me. To be honest, I thought maybe it was a crazy idea, but my parents and my friends and family basically put me up to it. So here I am. But so maybe you're asking yourself the question, Kristen, if it's a hobby, then why do you even care about monetization? And here's the reason. Because when I started this channel, I committed to not spending any of my own personal resources besides my time. Obviously, I've had to contribute my time over more than 1 year at this point. I was prepared to put my time, but I didn't want to spend a bunch of money. And of course, I did have to spend some money. This tripod that I'm using right now to talk to you, that was $30, and it broke. My original tripod actually broke just a couple of days ago, and I had to buy another tripod. So now that's $60. Plus, I did buy a little microphone. That was, I think, around $30. So we're talking about $100 that I did come out of pocket for in order to start this channel. And that's fairly minimal. I said, okay, you know what? I'm willing to do that. But I don't want to come out of pocket for more advanced computer equipments, maybe some drone cameras, more cameras just to get different angles without me having to manually change the angle, because it's a lot to think about. Possibly some part-time help to help me with some of the filming. Because right now I am doing absolutely everything on my own. And if you're a small creator, I'm sure you can understand this. It is a ton of work. And As a small creator, as one individual person, it's often hard to even be good at all of the things that are required to create YouTube content. So even if it's a hobby, most people would at some point love to be able to give the viewer a better experience by outsourcing some of those things, and by doing that it costs money, and that money has to come from somewhere. So personally, my first dollar on YouTube, my first dollars, I should say, I plan to reinvest into my channel to give my viewers a better experience as opposed to pocketing the money, because that's not really what I'm after here. I would love it that if within the next 365 days, I do have something to compensate me for a little bit for my time that I'm spending, but that would just be the cherry on the top. If I can at least give my viewers a good experience and not have to come out of pocket and maybe have a little bit of something to compensate for some of my time, that's more than enough for me. I'm so happy. But that being said, to be real honest, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make monetization. So, yeah. So honestly, I don't know if I plan to continue the way this channel is after February if I'm not monetized, because that really deviates very far from the original plan. So that's where I'm at in terms of this channel. If you are a regular viewer of my content, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, and also just to know your feelings at this point. And as I mentioned earlier, I am planning to change my own viewing patterns and support smaller channels. This is the best time, if you do watch any smaller channels, to give them your support in the next few months, because they're really going to need it. Whether that is just watching their videos from start to finish, because that helps with their average view duration. It helps their videos to make it out to more people. By subscribing and hitting the bell icon so that you're notified and you don't miss those videos, and to just give a like and a comment to those creators who are probably struggling right now mentally, and just trying to make a go of it with their channels. Just having a little bit of show of support will be the perfect free way to help your favorite small creators without spending any money. And if you are a small creator who is watching this right now, I really look forward to having a look at your channel, supporting you as much as I can. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one.